Okay, it said you alive. All right, it's been a minute. I don't even know if y'all are gonna get this notification, but if you're gonna be doing playback when you do get the notification, we're gonna be doing an energy check-in. So I'm gonna give it some time, and hopefully the camera doesn't do that adjusting thing throughout the whole video. But I wanted to check in. It's been a minute. I have been in hermit mode for a while. You guys know I had surgery, and it took a lot longer than I anticipated. So we're gonna give it a second and let y'all come on in. It took a little longer, but I am back. I got some things in the works. I just am writing it all down at this point and getting it together. All right, welcome back. I'm just giving it some time so everybody can come on in because we're going to talk about this energy in the atmosphere, the change, the metaverse, the multiverse. We're going to be talking about the metaverse, the multiverse. We're going to be talking about, hey, Miss T, how you doing? I've been in hermit mode, and sometimes Scorpios can go in hermit mode when we're trying to figure things out on ourselves on a personal end. I've had so much stuff going on. Miss Kim, how are you doing? So let me make this announcement right now. If you have been part of the Patreon team for the past 3 months supporting me while I have been in recovery and healing mode, you are going to get a free reading. So you want to go ahead and make sure you email me so we can schedule your reading. I'm going to make that announcement a few times. All right, y'all. So how y'all been doing in this energy? Are y'all feeling the changes? Are you guys feeling the changes that's going on? Are you guys feeling that we've now fully stepped into a new timeline and we have definitely energetically entered the multiverse, the metaverse energy, which simply means that you have access to everything. You can really start to create from a place within, right? So I've been collecting cards as I've been in healing mode and hermit mode. So you guys are going to see different decks, all right? I am going to be bringing back the daily vibration. I just don't have a date for you yet, but I am working on that. I've also created a new channel for those of you that's going to be doing playback, right? So it's called the Metaverse Oracle. Okay, so that channel is up. I already have done videos. I just haven't released anything yet. But that channel is up. And what we're going to be dealing with is more funky. You've been feeling the funky energy, but you've been feeling the shift. On the second channel, what we're going to be dealing with more is the energy around you that you can't see, right? So whether it's energy from your ancestors or energy from other dimension, other realms, okay? We're going to be dealing more with, maybe light beings. So we're going to deal more with energy that you can't see and how you are to be interacting in this new energy in the metaverse, okay? So that's my new channel. It's called Metaverse Oracle. And that's gonna be a little different in style on that particular channel. I'm excited though. All right, yeah, okay, y'all. So let's get into this, and we're just gonna let everybody else do playback. So I know it's been a minute, and people's notification probably are not, on point yet. And y'all gonna have to give me some time here. So let me just tell y'all what prompted me to jump on the live. What prompted me to jump on the live is that I was doing an energetic pull, more so for myself, right? Because I am going through a lot of transformation. Like, it's to the point where I can physically feel the energy in my body, right? It's to the point where I am so sensitive to the energy where I literally have to breathe the energy and move energy around my body. One of the things that this experience has taught me these past 4 months is that it's now where you have to become so connected with yourself even with your breath. Breathing is going to be key as we're moving through this energy, right? Your DNA has definitely shifted. You're now elevated, but you're also going to have to be mindful of how that energy is affecting your body. And that can be through the elements, right? So we're going to be dealing a lot with the elements. That's going to be air. That's going to be water. That's going to be fire. That's going to be earth. And that's also going to be ethers or spirit, you know. We're going to be dealing with those energies more so because I always teach you that you're not just responsible for mastering your zodiac sign, but you're also responsible for mastering the whole wheel, right? And each wheel represents an archetype. And I really try to get into the archetypes here on this channel because you struggle not with flesh and blood, but with principalities and forces and higher places that you know not of, which is really energetic signatures and energetic patterns that either have been created through society, through ancestral patterns, through cosmic patterns, as well as through our own toxic patterns of thinking and believing and feeling, right? So we're now full-fledged in the energy where you are literally more than ever, I want to say, tapped into the tapestry of creating your world, okay? So one of the things that you're going to be experiencing in this energy is the blue avian's energy, right? So releasing old things that no longer serve you, maybe even tapping into your mysticism is going to be key. I even want to say for some people, it's going to be creating a new philosophy, but not a new philosophy so much so based on what other people think, more based on who you've discovered you are, right? So this energy is going to allow you to release karma, release things that you've been holding onto. And I can tell you what I've been experiencing personally is as I'm doing my breath work and my breath exercises, I'm finding that spirit is taking me back to particular situations or particular people, or maybe to a particular time in my life. And I'm getting flashbacks of all these different things, not even realizing that I've been carrying around, whatever may be trauma, may be disappointment, and some of these things are little minute things, just little things, not even things that I may have felt, made a big impact. Like it could just be a street that I used to walk, on every day going to work. And when I'm zooming in on why you showing me this street is representing where I was energetically as I was taking that route to work, right? So you're starting to see things from the past, where you should be learning your lesson, or you should have learned your lesson, is now surfacing back up for you to be able to do so, right? I haven't really got into the planets, to be honest with you guys, so I haven't really taken a look at the planets. So this reading is definitely intuitive, okay? But I do feel like a release of karma and tapping into your mysticism. Now, I want to say that personally, and excuse me if I'm not so tuned into the comments, y'all. Like I'm getting tapped in, so I want to make sure I get the message across. I want to say, just on a personal level, what I'm finding is that energy of mysticism, and when I say mysticism, it's more so going back to a place where you remember you were able to create. Not so much focusing on the things that didn't work out or focusing on the disappointments, right? But going back and also remembering the things and the times that you were successful. That's going to be important as you're moving throughout this energy, right? One of the things that I also saw as I was in hermit mode, and I'm probably going to talk about this a lot more because I feel like it's a void in this area, is there is a campaign. And we always talk about energy and signature patterns, right? There is this, and maybe campaign is not the word. There is this shift of energy that's coming in where it's pitting women against men, okay? And it saddens me because at this point the energy that's coming in is beautiful, and it's really energy of unity, not just unity of you being whole within yourself, but being able to come amongst each other and really grow and experience, right? But there is this energy that's being able to push that energy, that's trying to separate and divide masculine men, like the physical man and the physical woman, all right? And I kind of feel like as I was in study mode, I kept on just seeing a lot of videos and a lot of angry people, where they're not necessarily, they're given information, but they're not necessarily given any healing point. The end result is just stay angry. You understand what I'm saying? There's no healing. So this energy is allowing healing to come in. But it's kind of like in this energy with the Galactic Federation, which is in reverse, right? So you have releasing trauma, which is where the energy is sitting and asking you to let go of the old things. And I want to be clear on this too. This is even the way you think about a situation and the way that you perceive people and the way that you think people should act based on the way that you move, right? It's important for you in this time and this energy to live and allow everybody else in their own space, right? To create and live what they want to experience, right? It's important for you to know at this point, hey, Ashley, thank you, sweetie. It's important for you to know at this point, right, as you're creating in this new energy. Now, right now, where I'm feeling in this energy also, it can be high anxious energy, high anxiety energy. So you want to be mindful of people's projection. This is why it's important for you to operate in the energy of live and let live in this energy. Remembering that there's walls, 4 walls, rooms that you may have to share with people. And then there's a space, mental space, emotional space, okay? Logical space, and intellectual space. Sometimes you give people so much intellectual property in your head, right, that you're not even realizing that you're carrying more weight for somebody else than you're carrying on your own shit. Right? So this energy is asking us to deal with our shit and to allow people to live the life that they want to live. One of the things that I've experienced here is everything is relevant, right? So even the fucked up shit that has happened to you in this experience and however many years that you've been on this particular earth, everybody got a story, right? So with the Galactic Federation being in reverse, it's kind of like this walk is a walk that you're going to have to take alone. This is not a walk that you can say that you're going to have to be able to hand the burden off to somebody else. You're going to have to do the work. And it's kind of like the shadow self is showing up at the bottom of the deck here. Right? And when the shadow self shows up, it shows that there's still some facets of you that you need to be able to pay attention to in this season as they're surfacing. Right? Remember that everybody that you meet in your experience is reflecting some facet of yourself, whether it's a facet that you need to embrace, whether it's a facet that you need to grow from, whether it's a facet that you need to work on and change and grow and to expand from, whether it's a facet of yourself that you know you need to stop procrastinating, whether it's just a facet of yourself that you need to be thankful because you're no longer in that space, in that mode of operating, right? So doing the shadow work in this energy, especially for, I want to say the next 2 weeks, let's just say leading up to the close of the Lionsgate energy, is going to be important for you to be able to be honest with yourself about who you are. Right? And even the simple things, like simple things, you know, like I my kids and everybody know in my life at this point, when it comes to party and outings and, you know, and outing engagement, I'll give you 2 hours tops. After 2 hours, I'm ready to go. Like, I'm not the person that's going to sit there and like start the party and end the party. That's not me. 2 hours and I'm ready to go. So even accepting those things about myself, recognizing where I may be procrastinating because I'm not necessarily ready to deal with something, or procrastinating showing up in a way where it's perfection, right? Or judgment. You understand what I'm saying? Like allowing yourself to be in a space where you're being the observer of everything that's unfolding around you is going to be important in this energy, right? So as you're doing the healing work, and you're living and you're allowing other people to live, right? You have to understand that just like you're going through things, other people are also going through things. But other people may not necessarily have the tools, right? Or the energetic sensitivity, right? Or the wisdom or the knowledge that you operate in to do something different. So people can know they're triggered, right? People can know they're triggered by if you call them a bitch, if you say something about their mama, they can know that they're triggered, right? But often people don't understand why they're triggered. They just know they're triggered. So they understand that they get triggered and they react, but they don't know why they're reacting to that word or that comment, right? So in this season, it's important for you to be able to understand why you're operating and holding on to that no longer serves you and allowing other people to live. And it may be a lonely walk as you're moving throughout this energy. Not everybody may understand, right? Not everybody may understand. Okay, so, yep. Creative expression. I feel like this is the same energy about you being able to live and allow people to live, right? Being able to express yourself creatively. Like I said, you get 2 hours max. Like that's me being honest with myself, right? One of the things I now do just on a creative level is I pull cards pretty much all day. I just don't record them, but I'm pulling cards pretty much every day to tap into the energy and see where we are energetically. So now it's getting to the point where I now need to release some of this energy, hence me jumping back online. All right. Sometimes you feel like this journey has to be externally. You need a whole bunch of people in your team, to do it, but you don't, right? Didn't we talk about that? Letting go of the things that no longer serve you. There may be some things, someone, energetically, some situation, some disappointment that you may necessarily need to let go of in this season. And the way to be able to do that is creatively being able to express yourself, right? Whether that's through music, dancing, right? Being able to ground yourself creatively, right? Allowing the energy to flow through your body is going to be important as you're moving throughout this energy, right? Especially if you've already had the experience of your Kundalini energy rising. Right now, it needs to be able to travel and to move freely, right? You're in the space right now where, and this is one of the things that I've been seeing a lot in the movies. And, we've been talking about the grid for years now on my channel. And one of the things that I'm seeing in the movie right now is they're showing the grid. Like they're making all of this technology. I can't remember which show am I watching. I'm watching Halo right now. And in Halo, I realized in one of the scenes that the clone was in, flashing across that the capsule that she was sealed with was the same grid that we've been talking about in the sky. And I also then noticed as I was on YouTube studying, I came across this science video where there's this new telescope that's wrapped in gold. I can't remember the name of the telescope, but it's also in the shape of a grid. And I believe, is it a hexagon or octagon? I can't remember exactly what sacred geometric shape it is, to be honest with you. And I didn't write it down. I'm going to have to go back and play the video, maybe talk about that a little bit more. Which really leads into this oracle card here is you being able to use your intuition, right, for the guidance that you need. And some of you may just even need to go ahead and buy yourself a deck of tarot cards. Like it doesn't have to be these, because I know sometimes the Rider-Waite can be a little intimidating, so it doesn't have to be like the Rider-Waite deck, like, the original Rider-Waite. It doesn't have to be these, but it can definitely be oracle cards where the messages are plain, you know, and you don't really have to, it doesn't take much for you to interpret the energy around you. You're going to have to learn to trust your intuition as you're moving throughout this energy, all right? This popped up in the reading that I was doing earlier, just the energy, the collective energy. Environmentalists popped up, but paired with that, you have protected energy. And I felt like the environmentalist aspect, although for some people this would have represented nature, you know, and for me it represents nature. The elements are out, like there's a lot of dragonflies when I go out in the yard now. I see a lot of dragonflies just, you know, surrounding me. So for me, definitely it represents nature. But I also understand with what I'm dealing with on a personal level, I can understand why the dragonflies, right? And for me, it also represents too my physical environment, right? Because there has to be some changes. And for some people, it may not necessarily represent the elements in nature, but it can also represent your environment. Okay, so this could represent your environment, whether it's at work, whether it's at home, you know, family environment, relationship environment. So taking a look at your environment is going to be important, right? And knowing that you're protected, like regardless of what chaos may be going on externally, you know, checking in your environment and knowing that you're protected. But I also feel like with this protected energy, right, is you being able to know that you don't have to sit in anxiety and worry. I really feel like, you know, like any anxious energy or worry that you have surrounding you right now, you need to be able to let that go. And the best way I can tell you to be able to do that right now is through breathing. Finding some place in nature, taking walks next to water, finding something that you love, dancing, you know, being able to be still, being able to be an observer in this energy and not so much a person filled with judgment, right? This energy right now, a lot of people are definitely thinking about their security. I haven't been watching the news, but I'm pretty sure that there's a lot just going on around the world because I can feel it. I can feel energetically that there's something happening, all right? Okay, so it's just kind of like, you know, and it's interesting because in this time, what I've been experiencing, and you guys can let me know what you've been experiencing too. Hey, Leslie. In this time, what I've been experiencing in this energy, y'all, with this change, last time I felt it, this time I smell it. And there is this odor that I cannot put my finger on, right? And it just, it feels hollow is really what it feels like. It feels like a hollow energy. I was driving my son to football practice. Monday was the first day. Or it could have been Tuesday. No, maybe Monday was the first day. So I was driving him to football practice because, you know, here in the South, they start school a little earlier. And I haven't been on that side of town for the whole summer because my kids were traveling for the summer. And when I drove to take him to school, I want to say definitely about 5 acres of trees and land was torn down and flattened. So when you drove past the area, you can feel the emptiness and you can feel the hollowness. So I got to be honest with you guys again. I feel a wave of purge coming on again. Okay. But I don't see, but with this purge, I feel like this purge may not necessarily be a physical purge. I feel like this purge is going to have to do with people's security, people's money, people's how you earn a living, right? This is why it's important for you to be able to create from within. Like, I can't stress that enough, right? This energy that we're in right now is if you are not in a place where you're being able to be still, at least for 15 minutes a day, okay? And so the openness that we have in the energy right now, especially for those of you that are empaths, I feel like you can um, uh, you can sense when you've stepped into different energies. You can sense when you need to be open around certain people and when you need to be able to and it's not that you're trying to not share and to be vindictive or to be spiteful or to be, I feel like people right now are dealing with their own security, and how open they're choosing to be doesn't necessarily have anything personally to do with you, right? It has more to do with their, see, bottom of the deck, transformation. It has more to do with them and where they're going. So it's the same thing with you. This is why I'm saying live and let live. Allow people the grace and mercy, right? That you would want yourself. Sometimes I've been asking Spirit recently, like, okay, you're going to have to help me, like, check into me a little bit more, because, I've been feeling a little disconnected, and not necessarily disconnected from spirit, but disconnected from certain things on an emotional level, right? Even in the way I see death, and even in the way I feel about death, and even the way I feel about funerals. And I'm not going to get into how I feel about all of those things right now, but just even the way I feel about those things, right? And the way that I now have been able to transform because of those things, with my dad passing and having to go through what I'm going through with probate. And then this is the thing too, I want you guys to know, in this transformation that I've been going through on a personal level, and I just want to say also the earth energetically is going through a transformation, right? And every cell in your body is going through a transformation. And one of the things that I've learned with going through this transformation is nothing is really as it seems. And it makes me think about the villain in the movies, right? And I remember watching Loki, and Loki talked about he was born to be mischievous, like he was born to create malice and chaos, right? And a lot of people don't understand that order is, order comes out of chaos. And part of the transformation is allowing yourself to learn from the painful situations and moving past them. And for some people, the lesson is not necessarily in the joy that you're going to feel. For some people, the lesson is the pain. And that can necessarily be because their soul is just not at the point where it's time for graduation yet. Not everybody's going to graduate in this energy. And that's okay. That's okay. Everything is relevant in this energy. Everything is relevant in this energy. Yep. You have pleasure and you have wisdom. Think about the things that bring you pleasure and then use your wisdom. And I really want to put this even on a deeper level, because sometimes pleasure for some people can be self-sabotage. Right? So use the wisdom to know exactly when you're doing your shadow work, to see where you may be maybe not balanced in overindulgence, and when I say overindulgence, it could be something as simple as not taking care of yourself, right? And not taking care of yourself could just be something as simple as not drinking enough water. It's time for you to be able to live a life of pleasure. I realized as I took this break that everything that I said and I wrote down that I wanted to manifest, 5 or 3 years ago, I was able to manifest. And then you get to a point where you've manifested the things that you want to manifest, and then it's like, okay, then what? Right? And unlike, a lot of people, I had the experience where I was able to just stop everything and sit back and reflect, and take the time to heal. And also take the time to be grateful. Right? So when you're looking at your pleasures, I don't want you to just look at pleasures and the things that make you happiness. I want you to look at pleasures also for the things that you may be inflicting on yourself and on others that you may not even know that you're doing. Right? Let me give you an example for that. Right? Some people take pleasure in nagging. Some people take pleasure in breaking other people down. Some people take pleasure in being overcritical. Right? So remember, in this energy, it's important for you to be the observer. What are you taking pleasure in? Are you using wisdom in how you're moving? Definitely transformation is at hand. Let's talk about your chakras. Because I also feel in the energy, manipulative energy, and people calling you with high anxious energy where they want to emotionally dump or mentally dump, you know. So it's easier for you to jump on the phone and talk to somebody about your problems than it is easier for you, the individual, to sit with yourself and listen. Right? Remember, your environment is going to dictate how your energy is going to flow. And especially for my very sensitive empaths, when you go into a situation, aka it could be a meeting, going to get your hair done, going to get your nails done. If there's something going on within that environment that makes you feel a certain way, you're going to have to observe that feeling. And remember, I said, if your spirit is also taking you back to events, to places, to situations, this is because it's time for you to maybe release some of those things and embrace the lessons from those things so you no longer have to carry them around energetically. You have confusion, which is a crown chakra card. Now, your crown chakra, as you know, has to do with you being able to tap into your higher consciousness. You know, and if you can take a look at this card, you can clearly see here that she looks like she is alone, but she's not. And the way out of this confusion is going to be by you being able to be still. This may not be the season for you to get everybody's advice, but this may be the season for you to listen and get your own advice. And this, this may be the season for you to take your own advice. How about that? I'm going to raise my hand. I've been doing readings like crazy for myself on a daily level now, definitely for over a month. Right? Crown chakra energy is you don't have to be confused. What that means is you just need to get still so you can hear. Part of what's going on also is forgiveness. And I feel this. This right here is third eye chakra. So you got crown chakra, third eye chakra. Third eye chakra represents your perception of things. How do you perceive things, right? If you perceive things that somebody's always coming for you, guess what? You're always going to have experience with somebody's coming for you. If you perceive experiences that, all men ain't shit, then guess what? You're going to continue to have experiences with men that's not shit or women that's not shit. If you perceive things that it's going to be difficult for me to be able to get this job, then guess what? It's going to be difficult for you to be able to get this job. So your third eye chakra deals with your perception. And one of the things that is telling you as you are observing, remember, you're observing without judgment now, right? So the way to change is observation without judgment. And for some people, I know this is difficult because we've been taught, not just by family, but also by society and by our own fears and limitation that it's, you forgive, but you don't forget. But really, are you forgiven? That's the question you need to ask yourself in this energy. Are you forgiven? Have you forgiven yourself? Have you forgiven other people? Forgiveness is not allowing anyone to get away with anything that they've done. It's about you being able to move forward. But I want to say this. The universe don't do blind justice. And a lot of times we like to hold people hostage for things that they've done to us. And sometimes they remember, but 90% of the times they don't remember the things that they've done to you. So energetically, when you're being led back to these places, you know, or these situations, or you're being led back to these conversations where you're thinking, well, I should have said this, you know, or I can't believe he said this, or I can't believe he said that. You need to operate from a place of your perceptiveness on this, as well as looking at it from a place of forgiveness, right? Now, and the reason why you want to practice forgiveness too, because it makes you lighter. Like karmically, remember when we talked about this, like, you know, right now, we trying to release whatever negative, lower vibration thing is holding you down. Even if you have to create a new philosophy in how you live in your life. It takes more energy to practice unforgiveness than it does for you to actually practice forgiving someone. And I'm telling y'all, like, I can't even be, you know, like, I'll have to wait until everything settles. But people can just blatantly lie. And what I find, because I've changed my perception and how I walk in this, is that your lies are really not towards me. There's something that makes you uncomfortable, you know, with telling the truth. And that something don't have anything to do with me. But using and lying on me is a means to an end for what you want. But it really has nothing to do with me. So I don't really have to take anything personal. So a lot of us have been on this discovery. I've been in a major mode of discovery. I mean, so much to the point now where I'm questioning, like, am I too laid back? Because certain things I just don't, I care not to know. I care not to participate. And a lot of it is because I have seen within these past 3 months how stress has reacted, or how stress reacts in my body. And my goal along my journey is not to manage stress. I don't want to learn to manage stress. I want to be able to transmute my stress. And the way for me to be able to transmute my stress is by being able to be aware of what's going on within my body. So immediately after a phone call that's just a little tension or a little toxic, I immediately feel it in a certain part of my body. Now, that means that I need to go sit and do energy work. I promise y'all not. Like, most of my day is spent doing energy work. I promise you not. Most of my days is spent doing energy work. And as soon as I'm finished this reading, I'm going to sit and do some more energy work. Especially with breathing. And a lot of it is because, one, there's so much energy coming into the atmosphere. But two, right, you don't even understand how you walk around sometimes and clench your shoulders. You put your shoulders up. So you're dealing with a situation, right? And because you haven't taken the time to be an observer, you're walking around with your shoulders up. You don't even know that your shoulders are not relaxed. So then having to go through and retrain yourself to put your shoulders down, to breathe, to release, right? At the end of the day, you cannot control anyone but yourself. You just can't control anyone but yourself. You know? Now, I want to take a look at the energies around you so I can see what you guys are up against. All right? So let's do that. All right. Let me know collectively what the energy is up against. You got the Moon card. This is about you being able to be truthful with yourself. You're releasing fear and anxiety, right? For some people, this is going to be difficult, though, because for some people, you're going to be lying to yourself. This is also third eye chakra energy, which is also very important for you to understand, because within third eye chakra energy, we just talked about that. That's perception. Oh, crap. I done dropped the cards on the floor. That's perception, right? This is also Neptune's energy. Okay. You started 2 weeks ago with the meditation. It's important now. Like, so meditation at this point, like, it has to become part of your practice. You just cannot not walk around not meditating, right? So you have Pisces showing up here. And, you know, Pisces is at the end of the zodiac for a reason, because that is exactly the placement of your 12th house energy, right? That's your suffering energies. That's your energy, your house of your enemies. That's your house of your weaknesses. That's the house of danger. That could also be the house of addictions, you know. That's the house where you learn how to suffer or serve, or really, you know, what you're serving and what you're allowing to suffer, you know, allow yourself to suffer. Now, remember, when we did a level up, we talked about you being able to not really suffer anymore, but make decisions and choices. So you had choices and you were able to make decisions, right? Now, sometimes maybe in this decision-making process, you were going through some stuff, so you may not have made the right decision. You may have been emotional. You may have chose to avoid it, right? But in this energy, if that's what you choose to do, it's not about blaming yourself for doing that. It's about acknowledging that you may have done that, telling yourself the truth, right? So you can move forward. Like right now, the truth is asking itself to be to be able to be expressed. Okay. For some people, this could also be what my mom used to say back in the days, what you can't see in the dark eventually comes to light, you know? So for some people, this could be secrets, messages coming in. You know, whoever's doing playback, this could also be some type of something. I don't know why I'm feeling like some type of text message situation. So I bought these new deck over the summer because I figure you guys can kind of get the analogies of what's going on here. So over here you have third eye chakra. Here you have heart chakra energy. Then you also got Aquarius energy right here. Right? And then you got Mercury's energy here. Okay, so Aquarius is energy, you know, this energy is a representation of what you know, right? So this may be whether you know something spiritually, whether you know who to call to get something done, right? But there's a consensus of whether you know, like, you know that you're going to be okay. Things may be chaotic, but you know that you're going to be okay. And the fact that this card is upright, paired with the moon card, that can also reflect letting go of fear. It lets you know once you let go of whatever fear, once you start telling yourself the truth, or maybe even once you change your perception about a thing, right, you'll be moving forward, right? Now, you do have the Ace of Pentacles showing up here. And with the Ace of Pentacles showing up here, you have energy here of crown chakra is back again. Your divine connection with source. So you have what you need to connect with source. The problem is, are you connecting with source? This is Leo's energy, but this is also Taurus's energy here. Then you have Virgo's energy. I'm sorry, not Leo, Capricorn. What am I saying? You have Capricorn, you have Taurus, and you have Virgo, the earth signs. Okay? And like I said to you, I feel like this next wave and what I saw, that emptiness that I talked about earlier, doesn't really have so much to do with ailment and sickness. It has more to do with people's finances. So making sure that you're not living in a lack of fear when it comes to money is going to be important too. Being able to be in a space of gratitude where you can see opportunities as they come in. Because remember, there's no such thing as one opportunity, right? Opportunities every day if you allow yourself to see it. Look at this. I can't, like, clarity. Crown chakra. Libra's energy. Aquarius's energy. Gemini's energy. Libra, how you balance things. Aquarius, what you know. Gemini energy, what you think. What you think, what you know, and how you balance. Crown chakra. This is clarity coming in. Being able to think clearly. But in order for you to be able to think clearly, you're going to have to take responsibility for some things. Right? That's that Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords energy is Saturn right here. So you know you're going to have that structure. But then you also have Mars energy too. This is root chakra energy. So Saturn is calling for order and discipline. Mars energy can also be very passionate and creative, but it can also be destructive and in war mode. So these are energies that you have going on around you. So these may be energies that you are personally operating in within yourself, or energies externally that you're dealing with, right? So the message is very clear. It's okay for you to be able to pull back and take that me time and go in a hermit mode if you need to. It's okay for you to do that. We're also in an opportunity where you're able to release the things that no longer serve you. Remember, we go through cycles, right? So we go through cycles, we go through change. And if you're a water sign, you know, like right around this time of the year, every year, there is something that happens to us energetically. And if you're paying attention, you can kind of be aware of what cycle you're going through. Okay? It is important for you to be able, and I can't make this up, this was at the bottom of the deck, right? You're in a season now where we've definitely entered the multi-metaverse. And I'm not going to go into that because that's like a whole nother teaching, but I'll be able to connect that and connect the dots to you on the new channel, which is Multi-Metaverse Oracle, right? That's going to be launched sometime this month. But I want to say this. There are definitely energy around us right now that has nothing to do with what you can physically see. So when you start hearing major corporations change their names to the metaverse and a whole bunch of different things, that's a big clue that energetically we are no longer in the same place. So whoever claims real estate in that dimension per se, right, you get to create the reality that you want. This is why it's important for you to be able to do exactly what we've been talking about, but now this is the growing stages of that, where you're now able to not allow your emotions to control you, right? And you're now able to allow yourself to think and create from within. This is really where all of this is going to be applied, right? So for 2 years we've been talking about the new timeline, right? So no, the new timeline is now in full effect, right? DNA upgrades have happened, and if you do your research enough, you can do enough research to know that the radiation level that's coming into this earth right now is double what it used to be. Do your research. That affects the body. So yes, they can put up all of these towers and stuff, but just energetically through the sun, right? Your DNA molecular system has changed. Your body just energetically on a cell level changes fully complete cells every year. So you have new organs every year. If you're taking care of yourself, you'll be able to detox and regenerate your body within a year. So I don't know if y'all have any questions. Let's see. I know Miss Coconut said she started meditation 2 weeks ago. You're going to have to meditate in this energy. You will have to meditate in this energy. That's, I gotta be honest with you. I haven't even turned on the news, but I told y'all there's a smell in the atmosphere. And I can't quite put my finger on what it smells like. To me, I want to say like mildewy, moldy, or like dead wood, right? But it doesn't smell, yeah. So, and then, you know, one of the things that wood represents is paper, like paper money. You know what I'm saying? So I really feel like this next transition or this next attack is going to be on the finance level, but we'll get into that some more. Remember, this journey is going to be one that only you alone can take internally. Can't nobody in this journey begin to tell you how you should navigate this. The only person that can tell you that is yourself. So people like me will be able to confirm to you, like, right, where the energy is, but at the end of the day, you know that you are responsible for doing the work. Can't nobody do that work for you, right? So I think that's it, guys. I've been on here for almost an hour. I hope this was helpful. I'm getting it together over here, y'all. So I hope this was helpful. So let me just repeat myself. If you have been a part of the Patreon community for the past 3 months, I definitely want you to go ahead and email me. You are going to get a free reading, okay? I know that because I have been in healing mode, I have not been able to put up as much content as I normally would. So that would be my gift to you for the support, okay? Daily vibrations are coming back. I'm just trying to figure out the order of how I'm going to do that. We're also going to be doing, thank you so much, Miss Coconut Tea. I'm also going to be doing lives again, but that would probably be between this channel and the new channel. So I am going to be launching a new channel. It is called the Multi-Metaverse Oracle. And on that channel, the goal is to be talking more about the energy that's around us and that we're interacting with. And this could be energy that you can't see, not just ancestral energy, but also energy from different dimensions and different realms, right? And I get to talk about some of the experiences that I've had with these different energy sources while I've been in hermit mode. So I'm super excited about that. If you are highly sensitive, some of you are probably having some experiences also. There's a lot of energetic activity around me. I am seeing a lot of lights. I'm seeing a lot of lights. I'm just seeing a lot of reflections in places where there should be no reflection, right? I'm feeling the energy around me. You can feel the presence around you. I have this thing where I got these candles and, they have a little remote control, but there is no timer on the candles. So you can't set the candles to come on. You can set them when to go off, but you can't set the candles to come on. But you can turn them on and then set them to go off in like 2 hours, 3 hours, right? But I'm having this experience now where the candles go on by the fireplace every night at around, if it's not 10 o'clock, it's like 9:55. It's not the same exact time every night, but it's anywhere between 9:55 and 10:05. The candles just come on by themselves. Okay? So you are welcome, Leslie. So just so you guys know, right? Energetically, there is energy around you that you cannot see. Okay? That is real. And some of you may even be having experiences with your dreams and, or may feel like you're in between realms where your body's paralyzed, right? You can't move, but you can definitely tell. It's like lucid. You're lucid, but you can't physically move. You've been having more experiences with spirit, or at least more experiences with astral travel or astral projection. And not necessarily because you want to do these things, they're just happening, or you're doing them without even understanding that that's what you're doing, all right? So there's a lot of wonderful energy around us if we can take the opportunity to just be still, right? The fairies are dominant right now. So fairy energy right now, like they out here. It's been raining a lot. Fairy energy is is dominant right now, right? Because this is when everything is in full bloom. This is summertime, right? So they're out. So, all right, y'all. Let me see what the comments is saying, and then I'm going to go ahead and jump. Thank you, Leslie. Somebody said something about their cat. Let's see. Okay, I don't know why I thought I see that. I saw that. Oh, okay. All right, my loves. I am going to be back on here with the intuitive messages. And like I just said, if you were part of the Patreon community for the past 3 months, contact me so you can schedule your free reading. I love and appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to see you guys soon. And if you're on the replay, remember what I said. It's important for you to be able to direct your energy with where we are right now. Oh, a lot is going to be going down up until the close of Lion's Gate. So you want to make sure that whatever you're releasing and letting go, this is a closure. Right? So this is an opportunity for when it comes up in your spirit for you not to judge it, but just for you to be able to observe, get the lesson so you can close that chapter and move forward. Okay? All right, my loves. I'm going to see y'all sometime next week. Okay? Bye, my loves.